talk and walk, intellectual inability, and epilepsy. The World Cerebral Palsy Day is celebrated on the 6th of October every year to raise awareness on the need to improve the lives of cerebral palsy patients. In Lagos, Joy Ken Abakboya, NTA News.
The Sustainable Development Goal 4 for Education recognizes the role of teachers as pivotal to the actualization of the 2030 agenda for the sector. With the theme, Teachers Leading in Crisis, Reimagine the Future, the 2020 World Teachers' Day is therefore an occasion to measure the progress of the teaching profession to the attainment of a global education target of which no one is left behind. John Adams reports.
The contribution of teachers to molding individuals and reshaping them for the future cannot be overemphasized. Their sacrosanct position is why the recommendations of the 1966 ILO and UNESCO was launched in 1994. It sets the benchmark regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and standards for their recruitment, teaching and learning conditions.
This is by helping every child to be well-armed with the needed skills to be able to thrive and live a sustainable life in the future.
The coronavirus pandemic has affected the teaching profession. Under the new normal, the modus operandi of teachers has changed, with focus on containing the virus.
We are learning and relearning. We're unlearning a lot of old things, and we are now realizing that teaching and the whole educational structure cannot be done in the traditional way that we've always done it. Now we're moving to remote learning, and we have to learn new skills. And I think it has afforded us opportunities to upgrade ourselves and become better teachers.
To improve the education system in Nigeria, teachers under various groups have continued to demand for better remuneration and structures to motivate them in promoting teaching. In Lagos, John Adams, NTA News.
In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved automatic employment for education students on graduation, extension of teachers' retirement age to 65, and teaching service year to 40. This is in the President's message to Nigerian teachers as they join their counterparts as the world in marking the 2020 World Teachers' Day. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports on the message, or rather that the message was presented by the Minister of Education, Adamu.
Visually impaired Diglip Emmanuel is one of the about 2 million qualified and registered teachers in Nigeria. Attempts to bridge the educational gap between the visually impaired and their abled counterparts in Nigeria led him to the teaching profession.
Teacher's reward is not supposed to be in heaven alone, but it's supposed to start right from here on earth.
As the minister mounted the podium to deliver the policy statements and incentives by President Buhari that will make the profession competitive, the dream and needs of Diglip Emmanuel appeared to have been met.
Special salary scale for teachers in basic and secondary schools, including provisions for rural hosting allowance, science teacher allowances, and peculiar allowances, is hereby given. Free tuition and automatic admission for biological children of teachers in their respective schools.
I am confident that many teachers will rise up to the challenge to work harder and emerge as stars of our future.
Key players say year 2020, the best year to appreciate teachers due to the coronavirus pandemic.
To always remember to appreciate that special teacher who laid the foundation for the success you have achieved in life.
National President, Nigeria Union of Teachers, Nasir Idris, commended the concerted efforts of the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 and the modalities put in place for safe reopening of schools.
In order to safeguard the health and safety of the learners, teachers, and the school community as a whole.
There were gift items for winners of the Presidential Teachers and Schools Excellence Awards.
I continue to uphold education nationally, internationally. And even development of indigenous technology, which I specialize on.
This year, organizers are looking at teachers leading in crisis and at the same time reimagining the future, because amid a global pandemic, teachers have become even more vital as they navigate on how to help students adjust to distance learning and adopt the COVID-19 safety guidelines. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
COVID-19 has helped nations around the world appreciate the need to improve living conditions and the essence of adequate housing, including urban planning. As the world celebrates World Habitat Day, Uzezi Arure takes a look at the living conditions of people in urban areas and the challenges of town planning.
When COVID-19 first reared its ugly head all around the world, there were lockdown measures and people, among other safety guidelines, were asked to stay at home and maintain social distancing. Sadly, the world is a luxury, particularly for many urban poor. And for those who at least have a roof over their heads, the living condition is often devoid of adequate hygiene, sanitation, and structures that make social distancing easy. In recent times, urban areas have become congested as a result of explosion in population and migration. This growth has put a strain on the available infrastructure that even the wetlands, which wasn't intended to be inhabited, now have people living in them, a situation that aggravates flooding. In addition to this, the process of development and design of land use and the infrastructural network of buildings have over the years become unfavorable.
Water carry many people's house. Some people are squatting, maybe like 10 persons for one room.
I feel the population is more than the plan of the city.
If you had good train systems and other alternative means of transportation, people can live in other cities. And federal government should try and improve other states so other people can see other states as places where they can see good economic progress.
The coronavirus pandemic has amplified the importance of adequate and structured housing, a necessity that needs to go hand in hand with urban planning systems that reflect the health and environmental realities of today and the future.
In Nigeria, it is said that between 65 and 70% of the population live in the urban area. To have a complete system, a complete process where a resident is fulfilled and lives well, must be a total housing setting conducive for living, for water supply and sanitation, for play area.
In 1985, the United Nations set aside the first Monday of every year as World Habitat Day. It is a reminder to the global community that the will and power to shape the future of our cities and towns lies in us. In Lagos, Uzezi Arure, NTA News.
The Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Maigari Dengiadi, has assured Nigerians of his commitment to ensure a comprehensive investigation into the alleged abuses of human rights by personnel of the Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad with a view to secure justice for the victims. The minister has directed the leadership of the Nigerian police to strengthen outfits responsible for monitoring activities of police personnel to ensure professionalism in the discharge of their duties. The minister notes that the recent call for the scrapping of the Special Anti-Robbery Squad is a strong feedback mechanism to bring deep searchlight into the activities of SARS. He says the incident in Ughelli area of Delta State was perpetrated by operatives of a unit. He added that the newly inaugurated Civicom unit of the Ministry of Police Affairs has been mandated to work closely with the Police Public Complaints Unit and relevant departments of the Police Service Commission to fast-track resolutions of all cases of infraction against policemen and bring erring officers to book. It's now time for a break, but remember, you can also submit your eyewitness reports to our You Journalists platform on NTA2.tv. Do stay with us.
obodo ha dịka Nigeria si mee iji kwụsị mfesa ọrịa coronavirus. Ha akwụsịla njem ụgbọala, akwụkwọ ahịa na ihe ndị ọzọ. Ụfọdụ ka chere ntị na-ekwu na mmechi obodo abụghị ya ga-enye aka igbochi mfesa ọrịa mana nke ahụ abụghị n'eziokwu. N'obodo Wuhan, China, ebe coronavirus si malite, mmechi obodo enyere aka ibelata ọrịa. Ugbu a ndị mmadụ na-akpagharịkwa obere obere. Nke bụ eziokwu bụ na ibelata etu mmadụ na ibe ya si emekọrịta ahụ ga-enye aka igbochi mfesa ọrịa coronavirus.
Iji tụpanye gị obere azụ maka ndị ife nsori na-adị mma, nwanne oge a bụrụ oge eji etinye ebe ọ ga-aka mma. Ọ bụ na enwere ofu onye tụkwasịrị obi, nwanne rapụka n'ife nsori ugbu a ka ịzọ ndụ gị.
Nke ka mkpa, chetakwa na akwọcha aka gị oge niile o. Alakpuona m n'ụlọ m, anyị ga-ahụ echi.
Hey beautiful, your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Intel 4G.
Intel. Live more.
Glad to have you back. Preparation towards Nigeria's next census is intensifying, with commencement of the next phase of the enumeration area demarcation exercise. The exercise, which is the foundation for the actual census, will cost the federal government the sum of 10 billion naira. Kelvin Ebonwaye reports.
The success of any census depends on the effectiveness of the enumeration area demarcation exercise, regarded by experts as the framework on which the entire census architecture is built. It comprises a specific number of persons and households, which a team of enumerators can cover during a census. Since Nigeria's last census in 2006, 9 EAD have been done in 208 local government areas of the country. The next phase, and the 10th in this series, will be conducted in 33 local government areas spread across 25 states and the FCT. Authorities of the National Population Commission are delighted that President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the release of 10 billion naira for the continuation of the exercise in the remaining 546 local government areas of the country.
The President has graciously followed this up by a further approval of an additional 4.5 billion to be included in the 2021 budget for the completion of the exercise as part of preparations for the next census.
At the moment, the training of field officers is ongoing towards a successful enumeration area demarcation and the actual census to provide the country with the necessary data for development planning and resource allocation. In Abuja, Kelvin Ebonwaye, NTA News.
And now to COVID-19 updates. 120 new cases of the coronavirus have been confirmed by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control as at the 5th of October, bringing the total number of confirmed cases in the country to 59,465. The new cases were recorded in 13 states, with Rivers recording the daily highest with 65, the FCT 12, Ogun 9, Katsina 8, Anambra 7, Bauchi 5, Oyo 5, Nasarawa 3, Kaduna 2, while Kwara, Taraba, Imo, and Delta recorded 1 case each. The total number of patients discharged so far is 50,951, while the total number of deaths stands at 1,113 persons. Sensitive materials for Saturday's Ondo State governorship election have been delivered to the Central Bank of Nigeria, Akure, for safekeeping, from where they will be distributed to various polling units on Thursday. Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, who disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting in Akure, says every vote cast on Saturday will not only count, but the electorate will determine the next governor of Ondo State. Doris Olumoko has details.
Saturday's governorship election in Ondo State, INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu says the main task before INEC electoral officials, ad hoc staff and other stakeholders is to ensure that the election is transparent and reliable. He maintained that the commission will be non-partisan and accord equal opportunity to all the candidates and the parties for a credible election.
Be rest assured, votes will count. Polling unit level results will be uploaded in real time as polling units close for public view, even before we finally collect and make a declaration of winning. However, this will not happen where the process is disrupted by either violence or malpractice.
Any person that violates any components of the criminal law shall be held and be charged under the appropriate section of the law.
Representatives of political parties and other stakeholders expressed the hope that Saturday's election in Ondo State will be free, fair, and credible. In Akure, Doris Lumoko, NTA News.
The Nigerian fashion scene has evolved with new local and international fashion trends stepping into the position of prominence. Uzezi Arure looks through the directions the enterprise has transformed since independence.
Nigeria is a country with diverse tribes, cultures, and traditions bonded by a rich history. Even in diversity, fashion has continually been an important aspect of the Nigerian experience, which is why the Nigerian fashion industry experienced tremendous growth and has made major impact in the fashion world. Before colonialism, Nigeria had a high sense of fashion dipped in modesty.
Before our independence, people dress in traditional attire, made in Nigeria, dyed in indigo.
The record of the Nigerian fashion industry tells the story of designers who garnered recognition through making pieces with local fabrics like adire, ashoke, batik, and more. Folashade Thomas Pham is one of the pioneers of the Nigerian fashion industry way back in the 60s, just when Nigeria gained her independence.
He made a few wedding dresses in ashoke. We call it fu, white ashoke. And you find that even when they do use the Western fabric of lace, they still add the hand-woven fabric to it. But Geliodu, become away.
The 70s was a time of funky fashion, from large afros to loose tops, bell-bottom trousers, and other exaggerated European trends with outrageous block heels.
This is called conductor at that time because the men do this soft fabric that they use to make jacket shirts. They have epaulets on the arms and bogus collars.
Then came the 80s, which changed the dynamics of fashion, with Nigerians reverting to their roots by embracing traditional textiles, side-by-side cosmopolitan attires. The 70s was a combination of the previous decades. Young and old showcased the fusion of indigenous and Western looks with pride. However, the millennium ushered in the dawn of a new era of fashion for Nigerians. This created the present-day fashion that are authentically Nigerian, and they compete on the worldwide platform.
We have the zip here, where you could actually unzip so that the hair can go through the outfit. Modernized. Back then we didn't used to have that. Now the buttons here, which used to be in the middle, we decided to create it by the side here, give it this flavor.
Today, style is still evolving with social media exposure and the Ashwebi culture as catalyst for the dominance of the Nigerian designs. In Lagos, Uzezi Arure, NTA News.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that fashion has evolved and also will continue to do so. Now, a 10-kilometer women marathon race, Lagos Women Run 2020, holds in November with innovations in compliance with COVID-19 protocols. Olumide Eguntola has this and more on Sports Update.
The webinar with the theme, University as a Gateway to an Excellent Life Opportunities and Challenges, focus on various issues that can enhance the performance of athletes and their life after retiring from active sports. Other issues highlighted were the need for application of scientific methods in athletes training, mobilization of volunteers for sports program, as well as sourcing for sponsorship and creating a Hall of Fame.
Appealing to NOGA to kindly rebrand this NOGA, putting them in a situation where the younger one want to be inspired by them.
Many of these athletes are from humble backgrounds. But if you don't have a scholarship in place for them, they will not even be able to have a university education.
From Abuja, Kene Emma Budike reports that Nigeria joined the rest of the world to mark this year's World Walking Day since 1991. About 100 people participated in the 1 kilometer walk at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, in compliance with COVID-19 preventive protocols. The exercise was facilitated by the Association for International Sport for All in conjunction with African Union Sports Council Region 2.
It's a day created to help human beings, not only people in sporting, but everybody.
That is our springboard to inculcate the habit of keeping physically active through regular walking.
As a follow-up to this World Walking Day, we will see how we start establishing a walking club.
The organizers of the largest women fitness event in Africa, the 10 kilometers Lagos Women Run 2020, have perfected strategies to hold this year's race virtually as part of means to observe COVID-19 preventive measures. The theme of the race, slated for November 14, 2020, is change the norm, break the record by running, jogging and walking, while the race is being monitored electronically.
We're doing that this year because we want to carry everybody along, and we want people to run from anywhere, everywhere.
The race is open to women of age 18 and above. With sports updates, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
And that's it on the news at this hour. But do remember to please keep staying by and abiding by all the COVID-19 safety protocols as you go about your day-to-day activities. Many thanks for watching. I am Dotson Ugmiemi.